Artificial intelligence for the people. Cool. But there are some things that we're already getting really wrong. My name is Andreas Ekström. I'm an author and a future analyst, and I'm here to talk about a few AI misconceptions, things that we need to think differently about. Let me begin by reminding you of the difference between the words technology and product. You're with me there, right? When Bell invented the telephone, he thought that he had invented something that would make people out in the countryside be able to listen in debates in Congress, or maybe attend a theater play in the big city. He didn't understand that this technology would revolutionize how we communicate one-on-one. Look at Google's glasses. You remember those so-called smart glasses that you can do all kinds of funky things with. We thought, okay, so everybody's going to walk around like that now, with a blinking red light, looking like Terminator. Well, no, people hated that. Conclusion? Good technology, bad product. And looking at artificial intelligence, the takeaway is pretty obvious. These first versions of AI that we're all trying out right now is nowhere near the final use of artificial intelligence. So, on to the misconceptions then, shall we? Technology is rarely neutral, even though we love to think that it is neutral. All the way back to the myth of the unbiased search results. I did a whole TED talk about that. You might want to check that out later. When we're trying the artificial intelligence that we know as ChatGPT, we need to know that it is indeed highly biased. It's based on what it's fed, for starters. But not only that, if you try to tell it to do something that you feel is bad, you'll notice that it won't do that for you. It behaves ethically. And why? Is it that it's containing some sort of moral compass? Not at all. It behaves that way because the owners, the programmers, told it to behave that way. An artificial intelligence will do what it's told to do. You're nodding, so that was a good sign. So maybe you're freaking out. An AI will take your job next week. Too soon to tell. What we need to focus on right now is the difference between linear learning and exponential learning. So understand the difference. A robot learns in a linear fashion. It cuts out a piece of steel, doesn't do it quite right, so we tell it to change the cutting just a little bit, and it will do just that. An artificial intelligence learns instead exponentially. It's a neural network, a little more nerdy here, but it's able to add not only instructions but also experiences and then take that through the roof. We don't know where that's going to take us, but we do know that we tend to overestimate what will happen in 1 year and underestimate what will happen in 10 years. But an AI taking your job on, say, Tuesday? No. On to the third one. That's all I had to say about that. AI might seem like a miracle, but it's not so much a miracle. It's more help with the mundane. Artificial intelligence is not about to outsmart real artistic brilliance just yet, and it might be used for less extravagant work than we might think. Already, text robots are doing quite miraculous work in journalism. Look at Washington Post. Investigative journalism and political commentary is always going to need a real reporter. But the basic stuff, yes, the machine can do that for us. Their text robot Heliograph has written thousands of articles that generates thousands of clicks. These are all simple stories, market reports, low-level sports. So any and all leaders should, of course, be asking themselves this: how can we in our organization use an artificial intelligence as help with the mundane to get the brilliant people that we have here busy with the really complicated stuff? What's the most important takeaway? Well, the biggest risk as AI is becoming more and more important is not about loss of jobs or anything like that. It's bigger and more philosophical. It's about us settling for less, allowing an automated text to be just a little sloppy, generated illustration to be a little off, or machine-composed background music to lack all soul. If you need an example to understand that mechanism in us, have a look at Google Translate and what it has done with our feel for language. It's not at a professional translator's level, but it sort of gets the job done, and we seem to be okay with it. But this is not only about settling for less when it comes to the quality of the actual results. It's also about settling for less when it comes to even more important things. Control, ethics, ownership. So what we need to do now, as we're feeding these animals at an unprecedented speed with all of our needs and wants, is to figure out ways to remain in control, whichever way we want to do that. We have parliaments. If we feel that we need to use them, we shouldn't be afraid to do it. We need to figure out a way to remain human in this. And all in all, I don't think we need to be scared.